This never gets any easier to start with. The nerves are always kicking at the beginning. 25 live streams in, still doing the same stuff. Same stuff. I can't even speak today. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Streamstructor. It is that time of the month. Slightly, I don't know, slightly off than normal, but yes, hello. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Frey. Hi, Siobhan. Yes, I see you on screen already. I can see you're already wanting to chat away or just observe and take the pee. I don't know. I haven't found out yet, but it's one of those days today. I hope everybody's okay. Hope we had a good New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. This is for the, what was it, the second time now? And I say it one more time in the vlog next week. But Happy New Year if you haven't been already. Greeted with that with me. But yes, welcome to 2022. And yeah, it's not exactly the best start to 2022 for me, but I'll explain that in a minute because friend networks have not exactly had the healthiest time. And I'll go through that in a few minutes. But just very quickly, as you may know, this is a live stream. I go through some archive videos and play some videos from the channel in the past, have a chat about certain items and news items and discussions and general, just have a bit of fun for the next hour or so. And if you are there for the whole hour, great. If you come in and out, fine, no problem. The chat is there, as you can see. There's YouTube chat already. Frey's already in. And there's Facebook chat as well. I am live on Facebook too, so if you are on Facebook, come and say hi. All hellos are welcome in that respect. I don't know if anybody's actually come and said hello on Facebook yet. No, they don't look they have. Never mind. I will eventually get that all sorted. But yes, as you say, have a chat down below, say hello, say all the usual things. I will be saying birthdays this month. I think I forgot last month, if I remember correctly, so that's a bit of a problem, because a couple of people I've missed. So I need to go back and say happy birthday as well to a few people. So I'll do the birthdays as well as some of the usual archive videos. This time it's only 2. Just try and keep it down and cut down the time just a tad. Just because of circumstances, I'm just trying to keep it a little bit shorter this month. Mind you, if people start getting involved, it might be longer than normal. You never know. But there we are. We have here the vlogs. It's living history, so it's my first foray into reenactment this time, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, from both sides, looking at the Rock of Ages and Dumbarton Castle before, and then the second ever show I did at Linlithgow. I don't film of the first one because I got really involved, including falling onto a spear shaft and getting bruised ribs. So that wasn't fun. But and then we continue with the Trial of the Time Lord Deanstructor reviews Doctor Who, so it was doing up till October time. And then last month it was the Christmas Invasion I did. But this time parts 9 to 12 is the review for that, and that's your layout and setup for today. So yes. How was your New Year? Because my New Year was quite interesting. It was interesting to have a New Year away from the house instead of just sitting there watching BBC News when the fireworks started, or as it turned out this year, the fireworks coming from from the what was it, Wallace Monument. I don't know why not Edinburgh Castle. I thought they still have the fireworks going. It's a bit of a weird one, but hey, there's not much we can do about that really. It's a bit strange. It's a bit weird. It's a bit odd, but that having that in Scotland is a bit strange. However, my New Year was spent with the person who's on this chat here, Fraser and Siobhan, gracious hosts. We had a bit of fun, a bit of time. We had Jamie and Jim come over, and we had another friend, another acquaintance, Chris, come over as well. It was a good jaunt altogether, and I managed to get transportation there and back through the help of my father. So thank you, Dad, for that. You'll never see this, but thank you anyway, sir. But they had a comment with me the other day. They turned around and said, "What kind of rubbish are you doing on YouTube at the moment?" I said, "It's not rubbish. I enjoy doing it. It's still rubbish." Was what I got. So yes, I had a New Year with friends and saved time for that, and made sure I was lateral flow tested and all this, and made sure that everybody was involved in having a nice little New Year's Day or New Year's night, New Year's Day celebration. Christmas was split in 2 for me. Christmas Day was just me, Mum, Dad, and then my sister and her partner and my looks like future niece, step niece, came in and joined us on the next day. And yeah, it's been absolutely fun and fascinating, and enjoyable, I suppose is the polite way of putting it, with that on their day. So that was the 28th of December, and we ended up playing Jumanji, the Jumanji game, which lasted about what, 25 minutes? It didn't last that long at all. I don't know what the hell we were doing, but I don't think we were doing it right. So that was interesting and fun. And then most of the time was just spent in the house preparing videos and getting things set up for the month and just relaxing really and just taking time off. And now it's back to the monthly, the weekly slog of work, and then the fun of the videos at the weekend. So yeah, I hope your Christmas and New Year was quite wonderful and quite joyful, because I think it's been a better year for everybody this year in regards to Christmas and New Year, although not necessarily for all my friend circles. I have three things I want to mention this because I think it's really unfair that this has happened to people, and I will be swearing a bit, so I'm sorry, YouTube algorithm. If you decide that this live stream doesn't go anywhere after this, then sod you. I don't care. I may get emotional and I may swear, and that's just the way it is on this video, I'm afraid. I'm not saying much more than that. But yeah, in all seriousness though, three friend circles have had a bit of a shit Christmas and a shit time of it, if all I'll say is right. The first one is a friend of the channel, Kirsty. Her wee doggo passed away this week, so that's a really sad time, especially when the dog has been about for half your lifetime, which this one was. That's a really sad time. So, Kirsty, I feel for you, missus, because I remember it from my sister and her rabbit, Sebastian, and you know, virtually the rabbit was there for 11 years of my sister's life, a third of her life, effectively. It was a long time, and to have a pet that long and to lose them is a real shame. Not the only friends who's had passing away of animals more recently, but that's the most recent instance, and she really did care for the dog. So it's really sad that her and her mum are suffering with that, and I'm friends with both. So that's a real shame. The next one is a friend from work. I'm not going to mention names here because it's not very much, and I don't think she'll ever get to this. And it's been very difficult for me to convey my condolences through normal conversation because I'm not the most chatty person in the world outside these things. I know it sounds a bit strange, but I am not really the most chatty person in the world. To be fair, this one here, wonderful news for my friend initially. She had a wee baby on the 24th of December, which was wonderful. She'd been looking to be a mother for years. She's finally had a wee baby. The baby's beautiful and gorgeous. Haven't had a chance to say hello yet properly with the baby, but I will hopefully get a chance to say hi at some point. However, her younger sister passed this week, and I thought that's really heartbreaking. That's really heartbreaking. It's really sad, and to lose a sibling like that is just horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. And I really feel for her, and I wish her well, and I hope everything's getting better, I think is the polite way of putting it, because it's not the nicest time when a family member passes like that. The worst one is I got a message on New Year's Day. It was a phone call actually, from one of my other friends. A mate of mine is currently had some bad news over Christmas that he is not long for this world through stage 4 cancer. So that's one's really hit me because this guy is such a brilliant person, and he's not going to be for this world for much longer, and it's really going to hit everybody who knows him. And it's really, really sad, and yeah. I just wanted to put my condolences out to all of you guys because I really feel really bad for what you're going through, and even though I'm not getting any direct influence on what I can do to help, I want you to know that I'm here and I will help you the best I can, whenever I can, of course. Let's move on to something a bit more happier. Let's get get that out of the way. So yes, as you may have noticed, there has been a kind of slight rebrand of the channel over the past few months. I was consolidated with the rebrand of the logo, back in the beginning of the year. That's deliberate because I've been looking to see about trying to change up a little bit and refresh the brand just a little bit because it's using the same logo for 6 years. I thought it's time to maybe change it, so that's what I've done. So I class it as kind of jokingly like a BBC rebrand, because if you don't know the story of that, the BBC in October rebranded their logo and the visual stuff. It's very similar to what it was before, except they're using their own font now. And I thought that was a nice analogy to say, well, there we are, we've got kind of BBC rebrand going on here on the Deanstructor channel. Gradual changes, but major changes can't really happen until one of my resolutions is fulfilled, which you'll find out more about next week. I'm not going to say exactly what it is here. You'll have to find out yourself. However, yes, so that's some of what's happened over Christmas, New Year. That's some of me and the conversations we've been having with people and everything else. But I think it's now time to go and do a quick video. Now I think I'll play one of the archives and come back. I do have birthdays. I do have an article about I don't know if you read this in the news about the guy who ran all 6,000 streets in Glasgow over a period of, what is it, 21 months or something like that. And that's inspired me to do something, and I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail very soon. But ultimately, yes, that's where we're coming from. That's where we're going, and that's the live stream for today. A quiet, conservative, maybe not conservative. That's maybe the wrong phrasing. Sorry, all the SNP friends out there. A quiet and calm video to watch and see how we all go. But here is the running order once again. We're about to go into the vlogs, and it's time for vlog 27. Yeah, I know, I can't believe it's getting that far, but we're halfway through the year in 2016 now, so we get right into the vlogs now. And here's the first reenactment vlog. Here we go, living history.
Hello there. Yes, I'm out about travelling again. This is part of a vlog that will be a compilation of I can't say it. Hello there. This is the start of a vlog which will be a compilation of me going out and about to different living history events over June, July, maybe August this year. Haven't decided yet. It's the 5th of June 2016 and I am just round the corner from Dumbarton Castle. It's the first time I've been to this castle since I was without the car. Public transport was a nightmare. Not really a nightmare, but it's late, so I'm late, so I might miss the first couple of things for it, but I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute and you're going to see what I see. And we'll go for a little walk, shall we?
To the people back at home, asking them to knit them socks and send them to them because their feet got so cold when they were running here in Scotland. Yeah, so you're saying that you had to make one socks? Socks, yeah. Very good. Socks are very good. The room was also sponsored for many pennies. We also helped to give the Pictish tribe their name, Picti, meaning painted people. The name was given to them by the Romans. As the
I didn't know my father. You can take of that what you want. You've got to surrender. 4 months. You must have no water now. It's not rained in weeks.
I know the grass is terrible, my garden is atrocious, everything's just dying, my lavender is really looking very unhealthy. We will come down and we will fight you once and for all and drive you into the sea like a bunch of horrible, nasty, evil foreigners that have come in to take our jobs and all that kind of stuff. Drive you into the sea, kill you all. But we would like our women and children to be given safe conduct because we're going to do some very unpleasant things to you lot and we don't really want them to see that. It's not suited for children.
That translates as, you know we're going to slaughter you, chop you into little pieces, and you want your women and children to go safe.
The decision will be, if Olaf kills, then all the Scots will go into slavery to Dublin. If our Scotsman wins, then the women and children go back. Right, come on, give the Scots a bit of a cheer. They're not doing very well. Oh, oh. Alba, Alba, Alba. Come on, give yourselves a bit of a cheer. Alba would have been the name of Scotland at this time, or it was going to unite to. So let's hear Alba, 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 Alba. They're shouting and all that. I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, that the Clyde would have been like the M8 with long sips. As I say, difficult when they actually start fighting. If you imagine there's a lot more of them, to know who is on which side. And the unit commanders are there at the back to draw back when we need to take a bit more of advantage.
Ready, Archer?
Archer ready?
Tell me when and we'll loose. Loose.
Everyone counts! The number of
Everyone,
arrows
count
are
the arrows with him. He's not particularly good at counting.
One.
You're not very good at counting either, are you?
Don't forget, folks, this is a heavyweight double. Archer,
What are we on now, folks? I can't hear you.
shoot these bows as quick as possible and on target.
Oh, let's see if we
They're
can
very
get it.
changes no matter what they do.
Time, stop! Come on then, so we're going to have the archer fighting the infantrymen here. Using short weapons, single-handed sword. The infantryman actually has a call shield, it's got a single-edged cutting blade. Okay, in your own time, gentlemen. Right now they're just scoping each other out, seeing how skilled they are. The small shield they're both carrying is called the buckler. As you can see, very small shield, also very effective in use. Oh, that was a bit of a Gentlemen, these people are wanting to see a fight. I say gentlemen, but these two are anything but. One's a smelly peasant, one's an even smellier archer.
Everyone wants laces. Everyone wants to eat laces. Rabbit. You all want to eat laces rabbit. It's a rare thing.
That's who you're talking about, right? Say the people fighting with.
As you can see, there's more to just hitting each other with swords, kicks, grapples, punches, all illegal here in medieval combat. Oh, I think that's probably a victory to our archer. Yes, he's not going to be getting up from that, I think. Do you have any words to say? Squashed it in a moment. Someone remove this from the field, please.
As you can probably hear, there's a bit of noise in the background. Yeah. This Covenanters about to go marching into the arena, so I'm not going to go past them that much. Here, Dumbarton Castle, it's behind me, as you can see. And it's about 2 o'clock now. The weather's lovely. Got my ice cream again. It's not quite a finished selfie, this one, but there we are. I've been around some of the sites, some of them already, spoken to the Antoine Guard with the Roman reenactors, a bit of footage from them. It's alright, on you go. I've had some conversations with the medieval reenactors, Carrick 800, maybe showing a bit more interest in them. We'll see. Spoke to the Covenanters Regiment, the Erskines. There's quite a few living history societies around here, going from the Romans through to the Second World War. So yeah, it's quite interesting so far. Anyway, the footage will carry on, and let's see if we can get some more interesting fights. Done it again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the musketeers have fired their first volley successfully. They're now reloading. You have to remember that the effective killing range of these muskets is 50 to 60 yards, where they can point, can aim at a man and hit him and do damage. Most balls will travel 200-300 yards, but they lose velocity and wander very quickly. So the troops are all very vulnerable at this point. Normally I would hope to have many ranks of musketeers so I could maintain a rolling rate of fire. But today I've got a small company of musketeers, so we are vulnerable at this moment. Hence our colleagues with the pikes behind us will protect us while the men reload. And now through the smoke,
I'll get a steady shot soon, guys.
The pike will now start advancing.
One thing that when I go to Glasgow, I need to make sure I've got some shorts. I'm wearing jeans today, and my goodness, I am struggling a little bit. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous today. There is some redcoats doing some practice behind me for some camera work. Not mine. Charging away there. Yeah, it's back at 3 o'clock now. Been quite a good day so far. What's been happening today basically is there's been different living history societies reenacting bits and pieces. So we started with the Romans, then went to the Vikings, we've had Middle Ages and Medieval, we've had the Covenanters, we've had the Redcoats, we're going to have the First World War. Well, Redcoats, the Waterloo, early 19th century Redcoats. Then we've got the First World War, and we've got the Second World War to finish. It's about 4 o'clock it finishes. That's intention to leave about then, because tonight is night for Doctor Who madness with my Doctor Who chums. So probably get a few more shots just to finish off today's filming, and then we'll time travel forward to the next event.
Right, okay, so we're just waiting. We'll leave this to Dale organised, so he'll actually get them all set up, ready to go, and give us a wee signal when we're ready to fire. I think we might be all firing together, or maybe just the cannon first, and then the musketeers. We'll find out just in a second.
I mean, depending on it, yes. I'm not the trainer. I'm not the trainer.
Okay, I think we're almost ready. So we'll hand them over to Dale now. Oh, give them a round of applause, that was good. Now, while they're reloading, get themselves organised for the next volley.
Yep.
Here we go again then.
Excellent, well done Erskines there, no misfires, and the cannon's off. Fantastic!
Oh, give them a big round of applause!
morning. Whether you'll be able to hear any of this, I don't know, but I'm here in Linlithgow. It's been a while since last here. There might be a wee vlog link down below when I was last here. But we're here for the spectacular jousting tournament, which has been hosted by Historic Scotland. Now I'm part of the Carrick 800 Historical Re-enactment Society. I'm now dressed for the occasion. Glasses will also apply for most of the day since the last time I get to see from the site, but background, I don't know if you can hear any of this. I might have to subtitles so it's going straight into the wind here, and it's starting to rain. But there we are, there's the field over there. And hopefully I get a few more shots over the weekend. I may be doing a bit of living history, but I was enjoying myself so much I forgot to vlog piece to camera most of the time. Anyway, here is the main reason for the event in Linlithgow: jousting.
Drop their shields. Sir Antoine Legrand will return from the gate end. He will face Sir Checkmate Fitzpatrick. An excellent hit from Sir Checkmate, forcing Sir Antoine to lose his shield.
Being my first proper large event for reenactment, I asked to get involved at one point. Here is a couple of photographs of me in the Chiltern, and this is from the Sunday. And here is a bit of video.
Facing. Our people are a wee bit confused medieval times. Your average medieval knight would count 1, 2, lots and many. So we don't give them too many technical things to do at the same time. A fine body of men. So children, you all watching this? Oh, keeping it tight, keeping close together. So the advantage of the children is, as the cohesion of the unit, the front row, when facing charging cavalry, would expect to die, which is ironic.
Children, moving forward, 1-step paces, ready, 1, 2,
Yikes. They're not going to stab me. I'm their sergeant at arms. I can stand here secure in the knowledge that they are absolutely not going to stab me. Oh! Anyway, that was a very nice presentation. Wouldn't you agree? Ladies and gentlemen,
in between the jousting tournaments, the men would fight from the reenactment societies. This is from Saturday. I wasn't involved in this fight, but this is the melee at the end of the day on Saturday, with a little twist at the end, as you'll see.
Well, thank you for arranging the rain for us. At least it's all niches. Red team, are you ready? Gladiators, are you ready? Audience, are you ready? Stewards, are you ready? Your graces? Okay, audience, help me out. Countdown from 3, 2,
Give me an R. Give me an E. Give me a D. Let's go blue! Red, 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 red. What do we want? Red to win. When do we want it? When do we want it blue? I don't remember that. You might have looked there, top of the hill in the sort of pinky jacket. We're not cheering. Yeah, we can see. Red, red,
Yeah.
red, 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 red. Number 3 marshals watching closely. Oh, he's got it! Took him out of the overhead and it's flew back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we have a winner, and it is Sir Harry. It is inspired to celebrate. Oh! Hold.
Infamy! Infamy! Hold it, infamy!
What is your name, this guy?
James.
Angus!
Angus.
Dudley, Sir James, Angus. May you carry on with chivalry and honour and be true to your promise. That is to make sure you remember it. Right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's the end of the weekend in Linlithgow. It was a jousting tournament. My first time in the big group of Carrick 800s. Training's coming up soon, I hope. The next things that are living history or events that I want to go to aren't until August, and this is the August vlog, so I'll end it here. So yes, Dumbarton, very hot, very enjoyable, and I decided to go up to Carrick 800 and say, can I join you? I then went to Dundonald 2 weeks later, didn't film anything at that point, but that was my first foray into it. There was only about 6 of us. This time round, in there with the gambeson on and all the clothing, you saw me with the clothing earlier on, there should be some photographs on here as well. And it was a great laugh, great fun. Stayed overnight on the Friday, did Saturday, came back home on Saturday night and did today, so that's fun. So I'm now finished for the day. Well, not quite finished, I've got my Doctor Who friends to go and see. Quite ironic fun, really. Another Sunday and I'm doing that to close a vlog. But anyway, thanks very much for watching if you have been. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Links are down below in the description for social media sites and everything else. Thanks so much. I will see you later.
There we are. That was actually quite fun watching that. I watched it all the way through. I didn't take a break or anything of that. So I did mention about bruising myself on the spear shaft, which is always fun, or not, as the case may be. Yeah, I had a trend with Linlithgow for a couple of years where I wouldn't stay the Saturday night on the basis of something happening, somebody having a party or some sort of birthday celebration, or had to go and see something. I had to leave. And then the first Linlithgow, I actually stay overnight on the Saturday. I go up to the go to the loo on the Saturday night, Sunday morning. And it's a time of year where obviously seagulls and that are nesting. So I'm sitting there going to the loo, come out Portaloos, and one of the seagulls starts swooping me. And instead of just gingerly walking away, I decide to run across the field, swearing my head off, everything else, until I get to the tent. And in the tent, breathless, And there was a story going around saying there was one of the guys in the Re-enactment groups who's running across the field screaming and swearing at the top of his voice at 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, yep, that's me. That was me. So that's my first funny main Re-enactment story I did. And that's off the back of all the Lithgow stuff. I can't remember if I actually mentioned it in a vlog or not, or whether it's something different. But plan is hopefully a couple of Re-enactment vlogs this year, because if things go ahead and they keep going, then potentially Lithgow might be revisited again, Dumbarton may be revisited again, a couple of other places as well I've never been to. Change allegiances now. I'm no longer with Carrick 800 because that group disbanded a couple of years back, but I'm now with Historic Saltire. So yeah, when the dates come up, I'll let you guys know, and if you want to come and say hi, by all means, please do. But going on from that, yes, hello, welcome to Streamstructor. If you've just joined me, I've just played the vlog from my first foray into Re-enactment called Living History. The show in Dumbarton, which is when I was a tourist, and then the one afterwards. I did a Dumbarton live stream when YouTube still allowed remote live streaming for low subscriber based channels. And it was my first foray into doing live stream, and I had 4 episodes that happened throughout one of the days, and it was actually quite interesting. I got a recommendation from, I got a retweet from Historic Scotland as well, if I remember rightly. It was quite fun, and you know, it got me an idea saying if I can do live stream one of these days, I will do. And obviously here we are, 25 down the road, live streaming every month, or virtually every month. Yes, so there was a bit of news earlier in the week in regards to when it came to a guy who had ran all of Glasgow's 6,000 streets. And I thought it was a really interesting article of what he's done, because he started it as part of lockdown. So you've got this guy here, and it's Michael Shanks is the name of the guy, and no, he's no relation to the actor from Stargate, completely different. He's a modern studies teacher, and he decided to run every single street, road and lane on the map of Glasgow, which is over 6,000 of them. And he did it over a period of, what, 21 months? Because he finished it by going down George Square on Wednesday, just gone. Because he did it as part of lockdown to try and just help him out with his running and vary the route. Because obviously I know that from doing my walking steps. You get bored very quickly and you want to change your route and go about. And I have kind of gone into a little bit of, what do we call it? Going into the estates and walking round estates and things like that. I don't run, I walk. But I appreciate where he's coming from. So I get, the article says I get lost quite a lot. Michael Shanks admits my map reading is atrocious and inevitably end up running in the same street several times. So over the past 2 years, it says, it was about 21 months. Initially he was just doing it through memory, and then he had to plan it later on, which is really interesting and intriguing. And then some places, he was talking about places where they don't exist anymore, but are still officially streets. Michael reserved the accolade of least favourite street for a bit of Morrie Gardens in the south of the city. When he finally found it, the road turned out to be extremely steep, muddy tracks surrounded by forest. Some parts of the city were well suited to his task, such as Garthamlock and Craig End, which were built in the 1950s and 60s, with roads that are linked by pedestrian lanes. And the traditional gridiron layout of many of Glasgow's tenements is also good for methodically ticking off streets. But there are some areas where it's less clear. Parts of East House and Postle Park full of streets with tenements abolished 20 years ago, and the nature reclaimed most of it, like the picture below. However, these ghost streets are still mapped, so people had to run them. So it was an interesting article, an interesting thing, and it made me think, do you know what? The Future Steps thing is back again in my work through the Prince's Trust next month. I think I'm going to take part again this year. I didn't last year, but I decided I'm going to take part this year. It's kind of a moot point for me in one respect, because I am doing more than 10,000 steps every single day anyway. So I want to do something special, something different. So I have a week off in February, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and walk to Glasgow. Now, you're going, what? Where? I live in East Kilbride, that's 8 miles away. But I'm not walking to Glasgow via the quickest route, which is via Rutherglen and Cathkin and everything else. I'm actually going to do it via the railway stations from East Kilbride to Glasgow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at East Kilbride station. I'm then going to walk whatever route I can to get to Hermire station. Then I'm going to walk to Thornton Hall, then to Busby, then to Clarkston, then to Giffnock, Thornley Bank, Pollokshaws West, Cross Maloof, and Glasgow Central. I think it's going to take me about 6 hours. It's going to be about 40,000 steps, and that's about the equivalent I would do when I'm doing my road bagging. So I haven't done that for a long time. So it's going to be interesting to see how my fitness is, because I've been walking every day 12,500 steps for nearly 2 years. So it'll be interesting to see how my fitness works for that. So that is going to be an idea for a different type of vlog that you guys are going to be seeing very soon on the channel. So hopefully I do it. If I get it done next month, then that means by March you might have that vlog up. But obviously I've filmed a lot of vlog stuff, and I'll go through more details on the channel. I'll update at the end of the month. But I filmed a lot of vlog stuff, so there's stuff in between if it doesn't quite work out. But that's an idea. It might be my big thing for the future steps, and do the sponsorship based on that more than anything else. And yeah, we'll see how we go. We'll see how it works out. But that's my interesting potential vlog material that I could be doing very soon, and the planning is starting now. And I did a recce today by walking from East Kilbride to Hare Myers to Thornton Hall to Busby, and it took me 2 hours to get that far. It was 2.5 hours to get that far, and that's the longest stint. Because I've done the others. I've actually done them in bits. I've done the walk from Thornley Bank to Busby, and I've done the walk from Glasgow Central to Thornley Bank in separate days. In fact, actually, I think I did. It was weird. I did the Glasgow to Thornley Bank one on the day of Prince Philip's funeral last year. That's how weird it is. So yes, so that was interesting. So yes, I have done interesting walks for that before, and I have done the route, so I know where I'm going, I know what to do, and I know what to expect, and I know roughly how many steps it will be, and that'll be my big challenge. Just do 10,000. So let's just do 40,000 a day and see how we go. See if my legs can take it. And there's quite a few hills, quite a few difficult parts, but the difficult bit is actually East Kilbride to Busby. Once you get there, it's not so bad. There is an incline between Clarkson and Giffnock, but it's I suppose it's manageable in the right circumstances. Anyway, moving on. Birthday time. Let's have a look and see what birthdays we have coming up and what we've had before, because obviously I've missed out on a few things too. So let's have a look and see who the birthdays were, and yeah, belated birthday wishes to everybody, because I don't think I did the birthdays last month. If I did, you can correct me down below. So we had last month, we had birthdays for Joyce was on the 2nd of December, so was Ailey, two of my friends. Steph, happy birthday Steph, 3rd December. Then we have the beautiful, lovely Stacey on the 8th of December. Ria, the 17th of December. Danger Debs. Debs was celebrated birthday on the 26th, and Mr. David Cherry on the 28th of December. Ah, you can't beat that. That was this month's. In regards to people who've had their birthdays or have birthdays coming up, Robert, friend of the show, contributed before. I said happy birthday to him at the time, but I'll say happy birthday here as well. Belated birthday wishes. That was a few days ago. He had his birthday. And yeah, we also have Fraser's other half, Siobhan, celebrated her birthday on Friday, just gone. And apparently she was treated like a princess, of what I can see from photographs, and quite right too. Quite right too. Other birthdays coming up, there's not many. There's Paul on the 15th of January and Graham on the 12th. But apart from that, January's actually quite light for birthdays for me. Although I might have a first cousin once removed celebrating their birthday next year if things work out, because my cousin's not long from having her first, so you never know. It might happen. It might be happening as we speak on this live stream. It would be quite fun if it was. So yeah, all the best, Zoe. Hopefully everything goes well when it does happen, and you and Ben have a very happy time with the Wii when he comes. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. So yes, if you are new to this live stream, you'll know that you may not know that I do archive stuff of videos that have come before. I tend to do 3 videos, but because these ones are a bit long, I've decided to do them as 2. So I've just had the vlog a few minutes ago for me vlogging about reenactment places and living history and being a reenactor. That was interesting in itself. Watching that again, I actually quite enjoyed that. And now we have the Doctor Who reviews. Deanstructor reviews Doctor Who. I've had over 50 of them now. And this one is around about halfway through this it was about 24, 25. This one, it was in the run, and I did a Who month back in 2019 where I reviewed all the episodes of Doctor Who's Trial of a Time Lord, and in up to October I got to 5 to 8. Now I'm finishing by going from 9 or continuing it with parts 9 to 12. So here we go. Here's a bit of Doctor Who. Hello everybody and welcome to another Doctor Who review. This month's full of them. Yeah. Welcome back. We're going to do another review now, and we're going to do a review of parts 9 to 12. Yes, you heard it right. 9 to 12 of Colin Baker's final season, The Trial of a Time Lord. If you've been watching the others in this series, link up there, you will notice I have been referring to the plot synopsis from the television companion here. I have it once again. So let's have a look and get this up, and I'll read the plot synopsis as relevant to this segment. A distraught doctor gives the court his evidence for the defence. He chooses an incident from his own future in which he and his companion Mel arrive on a space liner Hyperion 3 in response to a distress call. There they battle against and ultimately destroy a hostile race of alien plants, the Vervoids, while also helping to thwart a mutiny by the ship's security officer Rudge. Okay, here we go. We have the last part of this whole thing with the trial, the past, present and future element to it. This is the future. A little bit contrived, some of the elements of this, but it's basically an Agatha Christie murder 1,000 years in the future in space, which is an interesting way of looking at it. There is a whodunit there. You do have to figure out who it is, and obviously, if you're the right mind, you'll know it's Doland all the way through. Spoiler. But if you don't, then obviously it's an interesting little mystery there. Lots of plot holes in there in regards to various characters, all the misleadings and everything there. The fact that Grenville, or is his name called Nita Hallett, you know, is the one that saw the distress signal and also is the one that's faked his own death. That's interesting in itself. There is a well-known fan theory that Yolanda Palfrey's Janet was the one who murdered everybody. She effectively is there virtually all the places apart from the hydroponics centre, so everybody had a bet on, according to the production office, what I was reading of Doctor Who, that it was Janet that was the murderer. Obviously she wasn't. That's a shame actually, but yeah, she isn't, and it was actually Doland, one of the scientists there. Overall, nice little story, nicely paced, nicely directed, a little bit overlit. I love the set design in this. It's very Art Deco 80s. There's elements of 80s neon in there, and the colour scheme is very mid-80s as well. But it also has that Art Deco feel across it as well. A lot of CSO being used for the gantry bits, so you can see it's like the roof of a spaceship. Nice idea. Some of these effects actually work quite well, considering. Overall, the music's okay. Malcolm Clarke, this is his last instance in Doctor Who. He's done a lot of music for the series up to this point. He's the last of the radiophonic freelancers, as they say. That's part of this. After this, it's different composers completely that come in. Dominic Glynn spearheading that, of course. But yeah, it's an interesting music score. It's more atmospheric. It isn't really any musical soundtrack apart from that annoying music they have with all the peeps and parps for the fitness music. But then again, fitness music is annoying anyway most of the time. So apart from that, it's very atmospheric. It does work. It helps bring the story along a little bit, and I do like the interactions there. The Vervoids are a great creation, although I can see why W.H. Smith decided to ban that infamous Doctor Who magazine all those years ago, because it was a bit... I can see where they're coming from about what it looks like, but I'm not going to go any further with that. It's the headpiece we're talking about here, nothing else. And yes, it does have that kind of connotation, but you can tell it's a monster. They're well done. They're nicely done. I'm sure one of them is female, the way they're talking. Maybe wrong. I think one of them is maybe a female in costume, which is interesting. You don't really get that with the monsters of that era. It's usually all males in costumes. But let's go through all the characters and see what they all do in this one. So they've got Colin Baker as the Doctor. This one is a different side to the Doctor. There's more of a regal kind of edge to him here. He's very likeable. If this is the incarnation for Doctor we were going to get if they had another series, you know, it's a sort of Colin Baker Doctor you want to see, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's a shame it doesn't go any further. It is a shame that obviously we see him being a bit more cautious, and that's all we really get to see of this Doctor, because he's really bombastic the rest of the time. But I do enjoy the characterization here, and I grow on Colin Baker throughout this series in regards to his characterization. The next two parts at the end, you know, for the next review, maybe puts him down a little bit, but this is a nice interpretation. It's a nice little teaser for the fans to see what Colin Baker would do with the role. Not just if he carried on in television, and that is it's the template he's gone from for his characterization in The Big Finish as well. That kind of characterization you've got there, and it's nice to see. It really is nice to see. Then we've got Bonnie Langford as Mel. She does okay with what she's got. She doesn't really do anything major apart from that G major scream to help with the cliffhanger, one of the best cliffhangers of the series. At the end of the part 9, when Edwards gets electrocuted against the barrier of the hydroponic centre. That's an interesting way of working it. It's really cool. It's really interesting, and it's really a beautiful cliffhanger. It's one of the best ones you see in Doctor Who, that late period in the 80s. She plays it fine. She's a little bit grating at times. The scream is not as much in abundance as it would be in some stories in the early 7th Doctor's era, thank goodness, because that really does annoy me with some of the stories later on, which you'll find out in due course. But she plays it okay here. First real proper story for her. She is inquisitive, she is intelligent, and it's a nice change from Perry. There is kind of a better platonic relationship between her and the Doctor. He's a bit more avuncular to her, which is interesting. Then we got the two regulars of the series, the Inquisitor Belinda Bellingham, who just carries on as the judge character. The Valeyard's a little rattled in this one, Michael Jaston. He's a little rattled in this bit. He is trying to put one up on the Doctor, but it's kind of like roles reversal from the previous 8 episodes, really. The Valeyard's trying to give one up on the Doctor, and the Doctor's a bit easy enough to battle to it, and bats it back. Then we got the guest cast. We have Honor Blackman as Professor Lasky. Very detached, very focused, and a very interesting portrayal. I think it harks back to some of the stronger roles that Honor Blackman's well known for in the 60s. In movies and in television, and it's a nice little part for her. It's quite fun, and you can see that she's the leader. You can see she's in charge. She's a little bit grumpy at times, but you know, it works. It really does work. Then we've got Commodore Travers, played by Michael Craig. Now, this is one of the instances where the Doctor has met a character before, but we haven't seen the television appearance of it. We're also saying it's the 6th Doctor he's met before as well, with the way they talk to each other. So it's interesting seeing that. And he plays a straight-laced Commodore. He's kind of a Brigadier Light-esque character, really, with the way he goes about it. But he does a good enough term. He's enjoyable enough, I suppose. And then we've got Rudge, played by Dennis Hawthorne, obviously the dishevelled, retiring security officer. He does quite a good little job there. It's a nice little role for him throughout. And a little bit acidic at times. I think he gets a little bit annoyed with all the things that go on, and I think he's getting a bit exasperated about the whole thing. The whole thing about him mutinying is interesting, and the fact that he feels that, you know, he has been pushed to the side in retirement and he needs a bit of money to keep him going. Excuse me, itchy nose. We then got Doland, played by Malcolm Tierney, the villain of the piece when it comes to the murderer. He's a murderer. Malcolm Tierney's kind of on a slight crest of the wave. He's at this round about this time. He's doing Lovejoy as well as the Lovejoy's alter ego in here as well. So he's having a bit of notoriety at the moment with 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 himself at the moment. So yeah, but it's a good role. It's fun. And then you've got Bruckner, played by David Alistair. He's kind of like the warrior, I suppose, is the one way of doing it. I think he realises the Vervoids are more dangerous than they should be, and that's an interesting point there. The fact that Bruckner ends up nearly putting the Hyperion into the black hole of Tartarus is an interesting point, but he's kind of scared for his wits. He wants to destroy it and wants to make sure the Vervoids don't survive, which is a very fair point considering how they go about. Then you've got Grenville, the man who brings Grenville, or Hallett as he's known properly, the man who brings over the Doctor and Mel in the first place with the distress school. Tony Scoggo. Can't say that. He does a decent turn. He's kind of a bit scheming, but you don't really see much of him. He's behind he's behind that mast most of the time as well, which doesn't really help situations. And that's really all the main cast. You've got Arthur Hewlett playing Kimberly Old Man. You've got Simon Slater, who wants to do something to Mel, but we never find out because he gets electrocuted and killed in the beginning of the first episode. Overall, murder mystery. It's these sort of things aren't really my thing. It's a nice romp. I do enjoy the story, and it works well to a greater extent, and it's a nice little script, and it's nice to have non-scientific jargon rubbish from Pip and Jane Baker. It's not, you don't really get much of that at all. They tend to like sci-fi McGubbins, which you get in Mark of the Rani and Time in the Rani, and in the episode they write later on. But to be fair, it's a pretty decent one, and it's actually better than Mark, I think, and definitely better than Time, but I think that's an understatement. Chris Clough does a decent direction. Very pacey, very action-packed. This is Chris Clough's first directorial story for Doctor Who. He does direct a few more in the Seventh Doctor's era. And it's okay. It does the job. It's very solid. It is all studio based, so there is no outside broadcast stuff here. It's all studio based, and it works for that. I think it works better having been all studio. If you had anything outside, it would have kind of spoilt it. So it is a kind of traditional base under siege, but a murder mystery put into it, which is interesting. And then you got the music, as I say, by Malcolm Clarke and Pip and Jane Baker. A decent story for them, really, I suppose, but not the greatest. Not the greatest. Cliffhangers. There is a stonking cliffhanger here. I'm going to go in the next episode that you see, the next review for 13-14, more about the cliffhangers and overarching thing about Trial of a Time Lord. But for this segment, 9 till 12, I'm going to give it TARDISes 3.5 TARDISes out of 5. Thanks so much. See you later. There we are. I thought I'd not put myself off mute there for a second, but I have. I can see the levels. It's there. There we are. Review of parts 9 to 12 of Trial of a Time Lord. 13 to 14 will be next month, and that completes all the reviews from 20. Not quite. There's a couple more still to go in 2019, but it's not far off. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you everybody for watching, as always. Just want to very quickly go through one thing with you guys, and that's just to thank you for all your help and all your support over the past 12 months, because last year was quite interesting in regards to ups and downs and things, and the channel is kind of there. I mean, we've got stuff for the rest of the month. We've got next week you've got the New Year's vlog, so you'll be able to find out what my resolutions are for 2022. I think I might let away one of them already as a wee hint, but you can guess next week. And then we've got 2 reviews. We've got Resurrection of the Daleks, classic TV story, classic Doctor Who TV story on the 23rd of January, and then at 4 PM GMT. And on Wednesday, the 26th of January at 6 PM GMT, we have the review of the second Big Finish audio drama, Phantasmagoria. And then the channel update will be done on the 30th of January. At 4 PM GMT, and then we're into February. that's when the next Streamstructor is, 6th of February at 7 PM GMT. I hope to see you then. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and share it with the hashtag Teamstructor, which just come up there on the corner. And if you like the channel as a whole, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when a new video comes out. General rule, new video every Sunday at 4 PM GMT. Thank you everybody for taking part tonight, chatting, having a go, leaving comments down below if you're seeing this afterwards. There'll be a clip from this live stream on Wednesday at 6 PM GMT, so yeah, you can maybe join me for that, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But until next time, I'll see you next week with the vlog, but I'll see you next month live here on YouTube and Facebook, of course, on the next time. So yes, I will see you then. Until next time, guys, I will see you later.